Hello everyone, and welcome to the Smash Procrastination webinar. You here? Started. It's important to you, and what you hope to get out of today would be awesome. And I'm going to stop that music. That's a Disney song, and that wasn't on the playlist. Cool. So we'll use popping those in the chat. I'm just going to share my screen and get started. Stand by, callers. Here we go. Technology to deal with here. Cool. Can everyone see my screen? Can you see my screen, Vince? I can see you. Beautiful. Thanks, mate. That's bigger so I can see everyone. So yeah, welcome to the Smash Procrastination webinar, and I hope we can get through some things today and get you some really good help and advice on how you can overcome that procrastination that's holding you back, overthinking, and we're going to go a little bit deeper into some of those parts of where procrastination starts, how it shows up, and obviously the exciting bit at the end where we're going to give away access to the program for one of you lucky winners. If the team can keep an eye on the lives on Facebook and make sure anyone that's trying to get in here gets the link, that'd be awesome. Thank you. So yeah, just a bit about me for those that don't know me. I think I've had pretty good interactions with a lot of you in the past, but my name's Tahi, and I started Tahi Spinks coaching about 3 years ago. It was under Taumori Me Tahi at the time, but now that we're working with people abroad as well, it was easier to refine it down to Tahi Spinks coaching. And yeah, I went from working 70 plus hours a week to less than 10 and tripled our business turnover in the space of a year just by being able to overcome all my beliefs about, what work was and how you had to make it hard. And I'll share a little bit more about that as we go through. But yeah, I was able to overcome the stresses and pressures of business life and able to start working with others to help them overcome it as well. And that's why we're here today. And yeah, I'll go into a lot more of this stuff as we're going through. Just checking in the chat. So, Zion and Ricky, nice to see you here. Kelly, I know you quite well. Stephanie, good to see you again. We're in an NLP training together the other week. Mr. Dot, Michael, it's good to see you again. And Julia, great to see you. Make time for this call again. We just had a call this morning, and it's always good to share more space with you. And the Waikato. Steve, good to see you again. Been a while. Good to catch up with you on another Zoom. Mackenzie, we've been talking a little bit lately. Good to see you as well. And Amanda was also on the NLP training with me recently. So lovely to see you all. And great. Trying to juggle a huge list of things and handle knowing where and how to start. Perfect. Will hopefully help with that. And all I want to do is sleep. Perfect. We're definitely diving into some of that stuff as we get into this. And most of all, what's important to me though is my family, my whānau, and why I do this work, why I started this work was to make sure I not just spent more time with them, but when I'm with them, quality time, and being more present. Dropping my son off at school every day and picking him up from school every day is massive success to me when you're running two businesses. Kelly's got her own business. She works full time as well. So for us to both individually pick our boys up from school and spend that quality time is huge, and getting to their sports events. So yeah, actually on that note, if you could chuck in the chat, what success is to you? That's my definition of success now. It used to be all about the money and how hard I worked, how hard I could make a job and how many hours it could take. Yeah, the longer and the harder was always a bit more about was success to me. It was what it was to a lot of people in our family. And yeah, I was able to redefine that, and that changed my life hugely. So, and like I said earlier, I'm sure you're well aware that we've got this great prize draw, this massive giveaway. And I'd also love to hear in the chat what it would mean to you to win a massive prize like this, how it would change your life, to change your whole worldview and your perspective on life, and be able to reshape your success and redefine your success, and to be able to live life on your own terms. And because giving away an epic prize like this today is really exciting for me, because I get to help another person really transform their lives. So yeah, love to hear what that would mean to you, and hopefully it'll also give me a little bit of commitment that whoever's going to win this is going to go all in to get the best results for themselves. So let's dive into that. Again, if you're watching on the on any of the lives, check the comments around the live, or pop a comment if you want to be in the Zoom room, because you have to be in the Zoom room to win this. I can't watch all the live channels to work out who's watching, who's not. So make sure you're in the live, and the team will make sure that you've got the link if you are watching on a live and you want to be in here with us for a chance to win. So, ways in which we procrastinate and overthink. We all know that there's a lot of common ways for procrastinating and overthinking. I'm going to stop sharing and come back in the room with you so I can see all your lovely faces. And we've still got people coming in. And yeah, so what are the more common ways that it shows up for you? I'd love to hear how you procrastinate, because I could sit here and tell you for a long time what procrastination might look like to you, but I'd love to hear what some of your unique ways of procrastinating are before I dive on into sharing any more. But success is a happy whānau, beautiful cows. I'm glad we share that view of success. Being able to run my business in an organised fashion, that's awesome. Mackenzie, Steve, feeling good about myself and being happy to have no hang-ups and allow me to carry on into creating my family future and live my best life. Awesome. Julia, to win this would be the most likely gift to my mum or dad or younger brother. That is amazing. And I'd love to have that opportunity too. And Julia's currently working with me, so that giving spirit, the gift of giving keeps giving. Michael, allow you to get the professional support needed to move forward. Yeah, let's get moving forward, Michael. That's where we want to be. 2024 is the year of empowerment and moving forward. Zion and Ricky stepping out of working FIFO underground 10 years. Oh, cheers, brother. The 12 years underground as a Sparky in Australia and Africa and all around the world. And yeah, I know what it's like to be away from your little ones. I think you've got little twins and an older daughter, Zion was telling me. So yeah, I'd love to help you break free of that, because it can feel like a bit of a trap at times, the money. Awesome. Having choices, Craig. Yeah, power to choose. It's a huge one. and we'll talk about a bit of that later. Mackenzie, I love that you're onto it. Awesome. So I'll share with you what my common thoughts of procrastination are. And when I talk about procrastination and overthinking, which is what this webinar is about, to me, they're both the same things. Overthinking is a way of procrastinating. So I'm going to specifically focus on procrastination and how it might show up. So show of hands, who has done one of these on this list today? Be honest. Beautiful. So yeah, scrolling, massive one in this day and age of technology. I mean, has anyone here ever picked up their phone and then a half an hour later put their phone down and realized what they actually picked it up for in the first place? Yeah. Me, I do that quite often. You get that notification and you're like, oh, I better just check what that's about. And that's the power of what they're doing with Facebook and Instagram and all these social media platforms, is they create it in a way so that it'll capture your attention. Haven't done the porn, but that's a great suggestion. Yeah. And it's a bigger problem because of the embarrassing part about it and the embarrassing side of people not wanting to talk about that. So that makes it a harder problem to admit to, just like men admitting that they have emotional problems or they're struggling. We don't tend to do that as easily. And I'm really proud to say we're getting better at it. And when I started in this work, there would have been a 90% to 10% female to male ratio on these calls. So it's awesome to see so many men on this webinar today. It means we're getting somewhere, we're making progress in the right direction. The old waiting for inspiration to hit thing is a big one. You know, how many times do we sit there and we think inspiration is going to hit us, but we haven't actually chosen what we're going to do. And the inspiration actually comes after we've chosen. And the inspiration is actually just the step toward, just mute that one. Yeah, the inspiration is actually you seeing the path to where you're going to go. But if you don't know where you're going, you don't know what inspiration you're waiting for or looking for. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. Avoidance, doing unimportant tasks, that's quite a big one. Who here has done the housework when they're supposed to be getting a big report out? Yeah, we know how to do the cleaning instead of doing the hard thing. You know, we often choose the easy option, so as it may be. Yet when it's time to do the housework, we avoid that too. So, stress makes you procrastinate. Definitely, stress is a big underlying factor of procrastination. And then, yeah, substance abuse can quite often be a way to distract yourself. Yeah, emotions, definitely. So some of the commonly known reasons, I guess, the more aware in society is around these ones, which is, you know, fear of failure. And I put fear of success as a common one. Maybe it should have been in one of the lesser known, because a lot of people are starting to realize that they're afraid of succeeding. You know, or what would that mean if I succeed? You know, who am I going to let down if I succeed? For me, it was quite eye-opening because I realized I grew up in a community that was near the beach, and in the summertime at Christmas, all the rich people from Auckland, if you know where Auckland is, if you're in New Zealand, would come into our town. And that's how the community saw them. They were successful people that had a second home at the beach then, but society saw it as a bad thing in the community I was growing up in. So I felt like if I was successful, I'd be disowned by that. at a really deep level. So being able to overcome that, those fears of success and failure. Lack of motivation. I saw in someone sent me a message yesterday that's on this call, I think, about lack of motivation. You know, how do I motivate myself? And hopefully some of those answers will become very clear within this. Perfectionism. Who here is a perfectionist? Who here feels like they're perfect? Is it just me? So I like to just expand the thoughts around perfection and what it is. So I like to say that I am perfect, and that's not an ego statement, but in my 43 years on this planet so far, there has not been a moment that I'm not being perfectly Tahi Spinks. Everything that I've done has made me who I am, and I'm always the perfect version of myself. And accepting that helps me stop striving to be perfect. There's things I'm not proud of, and there's things that I want to be better at, but in every moment, I'm perfectly being me. So I can stop striving for perfection. I can accept my perfection in all its imperfection as it may be, and accept that and go, yeah, this is where I am today. This is Tahi Spinks today. I am a collection of all the things I've done right and wrong in my life, and tomorrow I want to be better. And that allows me to keep moving forward and stop being held back by perfectionism, because it has been something that's held me back a lot in the past. And it's also caused me to control a lot more and try and, have everyone around me be perfect. And you go out in public and you want your kids to behave because that's a reflection of you. If they play up, then people are going to think I'm a bad parent. That's another form of perfectionism. So we spend so much time trying to get everything right instead of just getting it done and accepting that we will learn from it if it's not perfect the first time. So some of the less commonly known reasons people procrastinate is, decision paralysis. Who's sat there to do their work or to come up with a new idea and they freeze because there's so many decisions that you could be making. I love the looks that we're getting between Zion and Ricky. It's beautiful to watch. And you do. I've had times where I've physically felt like I can't move because I don't want to make the wrong decision, so I don't make a decision. And often those not making those decisions comes from a fear of failing, yet by not actually doing anything, I'm already failing. But that feels really good because I'm in control of that. I win. And that's what a lot of this comes back to. It's our ego, our limiting beliefs, our core beliefs that we decided as a child getting to win and having control over how no one else caused me to fail or was involved in that failure. I took total control of that. And that feels really good. And it feels really shit all at the same time. Avoidance of discomfort, that's a big one. We don't want to step outside our comfort zone. And we also get used to that comfort zone, and quite often we don't notice that comfort zone is actually a really uncomfortable place. And when we get into a comfortable feeling, it actually feels uncomfortable to us because it's unfamiliar. And we run back to what we know, which is the discomfort. Attentional bias. Worked with a lot of ADHD people or people with those ADHD tendencies, trying to look for those quick rewards, the quick hits. And I guess we've all been a little bit impatient at times to get results. And we're like one of my mentors that I work with says be impatient with action, but patient with results, which I love. It helps me, focus on knowing that the continual action will bring the results, and that's where we have to be patient. Rebellion or defiance. Anyone here have rebellious teenage years? No, no one here rebellious. I definitely wasn't that. I was the super good boy. Yeah. Let's leave it at that and move on to perceived lack of control. That perceived lack of control. So feeling like we can control something and feeling like it's out of control, when really what is in control at any point in time? Is there anything outside of you that is under your control at any point in time? And I was talking to Julia about this morning on our call, about how we try and control everything and we don't trust anyone. And realizing how much we do trust helps us start expanding on that trust. Like, I don't get in my car and drive down the road trying to control every other car on the road that it doesn't hit me. I trust that that little white line painted on the ground is going to keep those other cars from hitting me, and they're going to abide by the rules, because, man, that would be a stressful drive if I was trying to control them all and not trusting that they would follow the rules. Gravity's an awesome one. Who doesn't trust gravity? Imagine having to get out of bed in the morning and try and hold your feet on the ground. Especially for those of us in New Zealand and Australia down here on the bottom of the world, we'd be hanging upside down trying to hold on with our feet. We look like bats. So, we do trust a lot in our lives, and starting to realize how much we trust the things we have no control of. We're floating around in outer space on this planet, attached by a force that's created by, I don't know, I'm not a scientist. I was going to try and sound clever there. So, what's the real reasons for procrastination or overthinking? Does anyone want to have a crack at that one in the chat? Fear. Yep, 100%. And what's that biggest fear of? Judgment. Yep, scared, fear. Yep, awesome. Love it. So underneath all of those fears lies, I believe, lies a fear of abandonment. Screened. Like I said, was around a fear of family or my community if I was successful. And I had a fear of failure also around growing up on a farm. And I've talked about this a lot. And, anything that on the farm that wasn't productive was put on a truck and off to the works. So unconsciously, I picked up this belief that if I wasn't perfect, if I wasn't productive, if I, didn't do everything my parents told me, I might be shipped off on that truck. And I'll tell you what, I probably would have got a bit more at the meatworks in some of our cows because, pretty beefy dude. But, that fear just unconsciously was sitting there for, close to 40 years until I found it only a year or so ago of where that was rooted and being able to overcome that, which is absolutely amazing, powerful stuff. So I wanted to share you this video of the Spanx founder, Sarah Blakely, talking about how her dad brought her up and why she was so successful, like billionaire. So I'll just let her share this with you. Hang on, is my sound sharing? Let me know if you can't hear this.
My dad used to actually encourage my brother and me to fail.
Can't hear it? Okay, cool. Let's stop that share for a moment. Yeah. Let me try that again with feeling.
used to actually
Can you hear it now?
encourage my brother and me to fail growing up.
Is that better?
My dad used to actually encourage
Sweet.
my brother and me to fail growing up. And he would ask us at the dinner table, what did you fail at this week? And if I didn't have something to tell him, he'd actually be disappointed. And I can vividly remember saying, Dad, I tried out for this and I was horrible. And he would give me a high five. And what he was doing was basically reframing failure for me. And failure ultimately became about not trying versus the outcome. Well, the mindset of not being afraid to fail was a huge defining part of creating Spanx, because I heard the word no for 2 straight years when I first was trying to get it made. It made me a lot braver and made me want to take more risks. If more parents are open to asking their children what they failed at and celebrating it, then children will start to be braver and take more risks and less fearful. So I say go for it.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit quiet. So basically, her dad would ask her and her brother at the end of the week what they failed at this week and what they learned from that failure. And so she didn't have a fear of failure because she didn't fear being abandoned by her dad if she failed. She knew he'd praise her and encourage her to learn from that. And that's why she says she's so successful, because she has never had that core fear of letting her parents down and being abandoned, which is super powerful stuff. And something I'm still working at getting better at myself with my children. It's a hard one, but it's definitely powerful, as you can see there. So yeah, how do we overcome procrastination? The 4 simple, powerful steps that I like to call my Papa model. So pause, assess, plan, and activate. So I'm just going to dive a little bit deeper into this. And this is the simplest tool that I've found that can get you moving today and stop that procrastination, get clear on where you're going again. So pausing, and I'm going to tell you this in an analogy to help it sink in better for you, because 95% of our mind is subconscious. And therefore, if I talk in an analogy, I'm trying to get your emotional connection to it so that it'll sink in better, because the subconscious mind can only be reprogrammed with repetition or emotion. And that's why if we see a car crash or something, every time we drive down that road again, it comes to mind because it's such an emotional thing that happened. So it's really rooted deep in there, the same way trauma from our childhood sits in there. So I'd like to say, if you're driving around lost, you're out in the countryside, no cell phone reception, and you start to panic a little bit, what do? Well, I'm a bloke, so I'm going to keep driving and try and work it out for myself, aren't I? But at some point, you're going to get quite agitated. The windows will start fogging up. You're going to be worried about getting to where you need to go on time and thinking, oh man, if it gets dark, I'm out here, that stress level starts to come up and your brain starts to go foggy and cloud over and you can't think straight. So at some point, you're going to have to pull the car over and just let the windows defog, wind the windows down, get clear again, so you can see where you're going. But before you see where you're going, because the part of being lost, and this is in any part of our life, is taking that pause to assess where we are. Like, we get so focused on assessing where we're going that we don't stop and go, where am I on my path to that journey? So the first thing you've got to do, even if you have a map, you need to get that map out and see where you are on the map first. Find landmarks, find signs. Where am I? Because until you work out where you are, you can't replan the route to where you were going. And so assessing that constantly is a huge, huge part. So, you pull over, you check the map. Oh, yeah, I found out where I am. You then can go into the planning phase. And so the planning phase is, now what's the best route to take to get to my destination? What's going to get me there the quickest, the fastest, and with the least amount of resistance? And, we all like the path of least resistance, as it's, a lot easier, and we like the easy choices. And this is why I like to simplify everything. So people do what they say they're going to do, and because it's simple, we'll do it. And we like to make simple tasks hard by overthinking, by procrastinating, by time wasting. So yeah, you plan that route again, and then only then do you activate. So you don't start the car back up and start driving until you actually start driving again. And this is written more so in the mindset part, the transformation is an essential part, because when you activate, you're going to come up against roadblocks. You might have picked the most effective path and you might be on the right track again. But if you get around the corner and there's a tree laying across the road, you're going to have to pause again. And to me, that tree symbolizes a limiting belief. Like, how often we got a good plan, we've got a good business idea, and boom, we're into it. And then there's a tree there and we try and drive through it. We put the hammer down and go faster and hope it gets out of the way. And often it leads to what would happen if you hit the tree. And then those proofs of your fears start coming up a lot. Yeah, affirmations are great for that, Stephanie. So yeah, those fears start popping up again, and oh yeah, I was right, I can't do it. And then we either give up or go home, as it were. So having this tool, and then so if you see that tree on the road, you pause, and then you assess again. What's my situation? Where am I? I'm behind a tree. Where do I want to go? I want to go to the other side of the tree. How am I going to get there? Maybe I can drive around it. You'll get out and have a look. Can I drive over the lower part of the tree? Is there someone around here that has a chainsaw? Do I need to go walk to the nearest farmers? If there's a farmhouse there, you might go ask them to move it with the tractor or cut it up. Or you might go back to, the nearest town to get help. And that's the planning phase again. And then you go get that help, or you drive over the low end of the tree, or maybe you look at the map and there's another road that gets you around that tree. And then only once you've got that clear plan do you get back to this phase again of activating. And I think this is what happens. This is what I believe happens with procrastination, and why we're just stuck there with our foot on the pedal trying to push through the tree. And we know that the car's not going to go through the tree, so we stop. And maybe we're like, oh, if I ask the farmer and he's like something I saw on that scary movie and he comes out with a chainsaw and tries to attack me, oh, that's scary. I don't want to ask for help. I don't want, I don't want to look weak because I can't lift this tree up and move it myself. Whatever those beliefs are that are kept you stuck at that tree is procrastination. You're either overthinking how to get around the tree, you're avoiding getting around that tree, you're avoiding asking for help. You're probably not going to get your phone out and watch porn, but there's plenty of ways you'll find to procrastinate in there. So this is why I think it's really important before you hit that tree, when you feel those fears coming up, where you feel those roadblocks up, pause. Is this something I can deal with myself? Is this something someone else can help me with? Do I need to ask for help? It's okay. Do I have a friend that can help me with this? Do I have a family member, whānau member that can help me with this? Or do I start looking outside? And that's where the extra step 5 comes in. And this is where it changed my life. I'm not presenting the step 5 as a sales pitch. There's actually a few coaches on this call. But investing in someone who knew that path changed my life, and is why I'm here today. And I mean physically here today. That's why I'm still alive, because I invested in help. I found someone who heard me, understood me. Those that don't know my story, when COVID hit, I had a number of staff asking me questions I didn't know the answers for, and I took on the responsibility of needing to answer them, needing to make sure they were paid and fed and their families were looked after through COVID, that they had jobs at the other end of this unknown that everyone was facing. And 3 weeks prior to that, me and my partner at the time had lost a baby. So I was supporting the whānau through that and supporting the kids and her, and doing the bloke thing. Yeah, I got this. I can carry this. I'll make sure everyone's okay. And 3 weeks into COVID, when the world got really quiet and I'm sitting with myself, I realized I wasn't okay. And I was lucky that the person I reached out to help heard me, understood me, understood my situation, and had the tools to overcome that. So just like if you pull over that car when you're lost and you're stuck and you're struggling, and a farmer is there that's lived there his whole life, maybe he could just say to you, oh, this is the quickest way to where you need to go. But imagine that farmer said, oh, I'm actually going that way. I need to pick my other truck up. I'll jump in and I'll show you the way. Like, how calm is that? He's sitting there shotgun, riding along, turn left here, turn right here. When you get to that tree, he's probably going to know where to get a chainsaw or a tractor from, or he's going to know a quick way around it because he's lived there his old life. He's traveled that path so many times that he can be there for you, support you, and get you to your destination really fast. And that's what I found with coaches of the last 4 years. I've never not had a coach in my life. And that's why I value it so much. Who here has children? Quite a few of you. Who here's kids played sport, or who here's them? Did you ever coach? Yeah, we don't do it in life, try and work it all out. And that's why it's important too to find the right coach, someone that's traveled that path. Because like if you were trying to learn how to be a gymnast and you get an NFL coach to come and coach you, he's probably not going to be that helpful. He's just going to take up your space in your passenger seat and not really know the way there. So it's finding that right coach that resonates with you, who's been on that path with you, to help with that journey. And that's why I value coaching so much. And I've been talking a lot. Has anyone got any questions about all of that? Because a good coach listens too. No? I love it when we get to the question stage and I sit here and no one has questions and I'm like, did I make a lot of sense or no sense at all? Getting some nods, so hopefully that's a good thing. Made a lot of sense. So. Awesome, love it. Thank you. Yeah, and that's why those analogies. And the other thing with a coach, if you get lost again and that farmer's been in the car with you, the next time you're lost in that same area, you're going to be able to remember the way because, like I said, we learn emotionally. Our subconscious learns emotionally, and you'll be driving along and you might get a little bit worried and then you'll go, oh, there's that bike shed he said he had his first kiss in, and you'll have a little bit of a giggle and you'll remember, oh yeah, I'm on the right path. Yeah, oh, that's his uncle's farm that's been in the family 100 years. Yeah, I'm on the right path. Because he would have been telling you these stories that you've connected to emotionally along the way. So, yeah, you'll be able to bring yourself back if you start getting a little bit lost along the way. So awesome. Well, if there are no more questions, we're going to move into the exciting part. But it's really good to know that I must have made some sense, so that you've got a lot of value out of that as well. And you're not just here for this, but but I'm sure you are all pretty keen to win this one. Yeah, Chris has just dived in the room on time. So after hearing all of that, what would it mean to you to win a giveaway like this, to have a coach like that that could sit in the passenger seat with you and take you along this journey? And how much would it impact your life right now? And again, if anyone is watching on the live stream, if it's even still working, it's the first time I've used that. Yeah, last chance to get in the room and get a chance to win this. So while you are doing that, because I'm really excited to hear, become the highest version of yourself. Beautiful, love that. Having someone who believes in you beside yourself can really make a difference. Yeah, definitely, Stephanie. Yeah, it's great. It was life opening doors and stepping out, taking charge of my life. Love it. Taking the leap, even though I'm lost. Kelly, you sent that one to me directly. Loving all these answers. So what the lucky winner is going to get is this 12-week program. So you get a total of 4 one-on-one coaching sessions with me personally to make sure that you are, the program is tailored to you personally. You'll get 2 group coaching sessions every week for that whole 12 weeks, where you get surrounded by a community that are all trying to achieve together and hit these goals together. Because we all understand that when we're surrounded by people that are striving to be the best version of themselves, it encourages us to be the best version of ourselves. Just like if you're in a sports, playing a team sports, you're all trying to get the same goal. You're all trying to win together. And that coach is on the sideline watching and strategizing and trying to work out the best way to get the result for you while you succeed as a team. And that's what I love so much about group coaching, is that team feeling that that everyone gets. You get my timeout method, which is kind of like a daily meditation or 3 times a day meditation to start shifting from that, shifting those negative, those limiting beliefs and getting back to the truth of who you are to keep you moving forward. And this is a process that once you learn it, you can use it for the rest of your life. Like I learned this 4 years ago, and I use it most days still. And that's why it's so powerful, is you don't need to go to someone else to get help with that. Manifesting the life you desire, we get in and we're going to manifest that life. We're going to choose what that life you want looks like and what it is, and then we're going to start living from it until it becomes your life, holding the energy of it. Because if we're already being the person who has that, we're going to attract all the things that we need to attract to achieve that. And then the whole program's in our online portal and via the app. So, and every training is in video format. You'll get to know Kelly a lot better. She's our star reader. She's been a teacher for, I won't say how many years, quite a few. So she's a great storyteller. So it breaks it up. You get the female and male energy in that program as well. And then it's all audio as well. So you can listen on the run via the app while you're working in your car, wherever that is. And then PDF as well, because we understand some people learn better reading details. So yeah, plus our exclusive Facebook community and 24/7 support from me. If I'm awake, I respond. And if there's any of my clients on here, though, I'm sure they'll confirm that. And we have a lot of fun. We like to make things fun around here. Life gets a bit serious and people get a bit afraid of stepping into a space like this. And if it's fun, we're going to show up, we're going to enjoy it, and we're going to make a difference in our life. And most importantly, in the lives of those around us. Went the wrong way. And so that's the full program overview. I think, Craig, you touched on reclaiming your power to choose, daring to succeed, shifting your perspective, getting out of our own way, manifesting is week 5. It's exciting. I was talking to Julia about that this morning. She's almost there and she's getting excited. You're not your trauma, so actually disconnecting from your belief system, you're going to get that, so that you can, choose the way you see the world. Becoming unapologetically yourself, Kelly's favorite one, and she gets excited to present that one. And then how to create real abundance, part 1 and 2, changing beliefs around money and actually what money really is. And then once you've got that bigger mindset, that bigger picture, and you want, to create more, because when you create more, you can give more. Like today, I'm giving away this $5,000 program. This is the most exciting thing I've ever done, and I'm getting excited waiting for it. Because it just feels good to give. And when you give, you know that you'll receive. So we get bigger vision, bigger plan, and then ending your day intentionally, I think, is a powerful one too. Sleep on tomorrow's dreams and wake up already intentional because you've been sleeping on that plan for tomorrow. So beautiful. And that is the value of the prize you're about to win. So I'm really excited. And I'm not going to try and sell it to people with a subject of thinking, because it's probably not going to be a good sales pitch. And I'll probably wonder if I actually delivered it right. But what I am going to do for the next 5 hours till 6 p.m. tonight, I'm going to make it a real easy choice for you if you choose to invest in this. So just fire me a DM if you would like to access this at half price by 6 p.m. tonight, New Zealand time. And I'll make that happen for you, even if it's someone watching on the live. Because I want to help more people, and I don't want to sit here and try and give you a hard sell. So take a screenshot of that. You can hold me accountable to it if you want to, and let's get going. I'm gonna just stop sharing my screen, and I just want to see in the chat, if you win that, are you all in to create your best life? Because I cannot do this for you. I can guide you, but I need to know you're going to show up and do the work. And I'm trying to find my awesome little wheel that I made. Yeah, that's what I like to see. I'm just going to have to bear with me a moment, folks, while I go through. Oops, I just made it spin. I'm not going to tell you who won this time around. I'm just making sure I've got everyone that's on the call here. That's all right, she wasn't on the call. Kelly, do you want to just say something while I sort this?
Kia ora. Hi everyone, I'm Cal. So I'm Tahi's partner, and the voice that you will hear on many of the recordings. Yeah, it's nice to see you all, see so many beautiful faces. I've heard lots of these names, but I'm not always there initially to see you. So welcome and all the best. Um, I'm so proud of what my darling does. He lives to help you, and it makes me quite emotional. He's amazing at what he does. I call him my magic man, not Magic Mike. That's a whole other sphere. But yeah, my magic man, and you just really have to jump in and see for yourself. You've just had a little taste of it today, but I know that yeah, if you jump in, you won't regret it. I've done Tahi's programs myself. We actually met. I don't know. Do we want to go there, Tahi?
Yeah, go for it. I'm still trying to work out names and who's here. So
Some of you might have heard this story about how we met, and some of you won't have. But we were both obviously single at the time, and Tahi was sponsoring a charity event that I was invited to. But I had set up a garage sale for the day, so I had no intention of going. I had all my old junk set up in my garage, and there was no way I was going to get in my glad rags and go out for the day. But my good friend rang me up and begged me to go, and I said, "Oh, all right, I'll come along with you." And it was a ladies' lunch, and Tahi just happened to be there at this ladies' lunch because it was supposed to be his business partner speaking, who was a female, but she couldn't, so he did. And so you don't expect to meet the love of your life at a ladies' lunch. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, long story short, that's what happened. Oh, got a little fantail come to visit us. Ta-da. There's Tahi's friend. He comes and sits on Tahi's fingers and he walks it back out the door. Yeah, and Tahi, as part of this ladies' lunch, he had put a card under a random seat to win a 6-week program. And I just happened to be sitting on that seat. And his friend had put it there the night before. It had nothing to do with who he'd chosen out of the room or anything like that. But that's how we met. Yeah, so pretty amazing. Yeah.
And I was been manifesting that for a while, and that's why I believe in manifesting. I've never had a good relationship. I had poor beliefs that I've been working on around connection and love and all of those things, and clearing those trees off the road, and then holding the intention of what a good relationship would look like. And I could play you that manifesting audio, and I could tell you that everything in it is how it feels, and it gets more and more real all the time. So yeah, that's another reason I believe in this so much. And yeah, it was interesting taking your new girlfriend through this program and talking about deep stuff, but it was so empowering as well. So I like to say if it was safe for cows, it'll be safe for anyone. And don't get too excited, Julia. I haven't spun the wheel yet. Can everyone just check that their name is on there? And if you're not there, bring yourself off mute. I may even have an extra one or two in there. Anyway. Sorry, Julia. Oh, good. Right. Well, I'm taking it you're all here. So good luck. And it's Halim. Is that how I say your name? Halim? I know that Halim is here, and it's about 1 o'clock in the morning in Nigeria where he lives. So massive props to him for being up at this time and wanting to win this. So yeah, that makes me super happy, and I'll get in touch with you, Halim. I hope I'm saying your name right. Awesome. Oh, do you want to say something, mate? I see you come off mute. It's connecting. Are you there, Arlene? You're muted if you are. I saw you come off mute. So. I'd love to hear what this means to you. Because I read a bit of he sent me a big message yesterday about how he's stuck and wanting to move forward in his business and overcome a lot of these things that are holding him back. So touch, and I'm really excited more about you, and awesome. And yeah, I am super blessed to have shared this space with you all. Thank you so much. I'm sorry you can't all be winners, but if you want to take advantage of that half price, that'll be available for the next 5 hours. That's just to help you make a decision quicker. You not overthink it really. But yeah, if you choose to be there, I'll be in it for the win just as much as you are. I'll be in your corner. I'll be in that passenger seat. Love you all. Love you for taking time to be here. Love you, Kelly. Thank you for coming on to support me. Love you to all my team of angels, Vince, M, Marinelle, Charmaine, for taking time to be here. If you ever get a message from one of them, yes, they are real. These are these sweet, innocent faces, except for Vince. He's trying to grow a beard to look like me. I call them my mindset ninjas. So if you ever get a message from them, they are real. That's them there. And I love them. They help me so much and they save me so much time. Yeah. I hope you all got a lot out of it. If there's anything that you could think I could do better and think I could improve and serve you more with, please don't feel shy to let me know, because I'm here to serve as best I can. And if I'm going to put aside this time and you're going to put aside this time, I want to make sure there's a lot of value in it. Yes, just come off mute and ask Michael.
Yeah, Tahi, congratulations to Harleen. The question that I have for you is you mentioned this a little bit, but it's the fear of succeeding. I deal with that. I'm sure a lot of people do, but where does that come from? That I don't understand. It's like we work so hard to manifest and move and move and move, but you get to this point where you just cannot cross the finish line because you're afraid of it. And I don't understand why.
Yeah, that's a really great question. So I'd love to go a little bit deeper. And if anyone needs to go, I understand. Ninjas, if you need to get back to work. But yeah, so it's often comes back to the unfamiliar and who am I if I succeed? And when we dive into a lot of these beliefs, I see it with a lot of people on a lot of beliefs, is if I let this go, will I know how to live? Yeah. If I feel good enough, will I know how to live like that? Will I know how to, if we've got comfortable in how to live that way, how to interact with people, if we change, will we know how to do that? So these deep-rooted fears come from that fear of not knowing who we are, not knowing how to behave as a new person. How will I be seen? And often, how will my parents see me if I'm successful? On the surface, the conscious mind tells you, man, my parents would be so proud of me if I was successful. But if you've got that underlying belief that, like I had, that I might get put on a cattle truck and shipped off if I'm sick, oh no, that was around failure. Now, if my community is going to disown me and hate me if I'm successful because I've seen that's how they reacted to successful people, then do I want to live without my community and my family? There's that fear of losing them, that fear of abandonment that comes with it. So it's finding who you're afraid of letting down if you're successful, or if it's a fear of not knowing how to live from a successful life. And a lot of the time, it also comes back down to playing the victim. Like if we're used to getting through life through being a victim and getting attention from that, if I'm no longer a victim, how am I going to get attention? How am I going to manipulate those around me? I don't mean manipulate in a bad way, but we're always manipulating in conversations and moving people around us. So does that answer your question?
I think so. I mean, I'm not a victim. I'm one of those, get off the cross, we need the wood type of people. But it seems like some of the stories that I hear the most of the people that become successful, it's like they move away somewhere entirely different. They leave their community and